Hey cats, what's happening? I guess you could call this a day in the life of Itchy. Working on the garage today. The garage floor specifically. Now, this garage we built, probably about 10 years ago. And it's been really, it's really a nice garage. And I've been very pleased with it. We had the floor poured by a local contractor, and he did a really nice job, but here recently we've had some issues. And I call this spalling, but let's see if we can get it here. You can see where the salt has damaged the surface, and this crust is like actually peeling up. So I've tried to come up with a cure for that, or a remedy, and it's a hard situation to deal with because once it gets started, there's not really a whole lot that can be done. Now, I'm going to give you a couple options that was given to me, but I have a friend who has a concrete business, and if you're local around the Medina, Ohio area, get a hold of Dave Seymour. He'll do your concrete work for you, and he's good. But he kind of gave me some tips on what to do here. And the first thing I'm going to do is power wash the floor and get all the loose stuff out of here. So, power washer. Look at this, brand new. It's a Ryobi with a 3000 PSI, a Honda engine. Brand new, never been used before. Now, we knew we had to do this job, and so what we've done before is rented a power washer. And, so right away, V says, well, you're going to rent a power washer, and we've got a lot of uses for power washers around here. We can power wash the front deck, the back deck. We've power washed the logs on the side of the house to get the gray off of them, and then to put the sealer back on those again. We power wash the garage floor, among who knows what other things you can do with a power washer. So that being said, I looked up, Home Depot has power washer rental, and it was $75 for 4 hours. Well, by the time you drive to Home Depot and rent the thing, drive it back here, do your power washing, which 4 hours, that's probably going to give you less than 3 hours of work, probably like 2.5 hours of labor. So you're going to really have to bust tail to get it back in 4 hours. And when you figure out the time you're going to use on a power washer, you're better off just to go ahead and buy one because it'll pay for itself in our homestead here real quick. So we started looking at power washers, and at first we thought, well, they got these nice electric power washers that are pretty much budget friendly, $100 or so you can get an electric power washer. But after doing some research, I realized that they didn't recommend them for any heavy-duty jobs, including concrete or masonry work, because they didn't have enough pressure. I think the highest an electric would go, I don't remember, somewhere around 1700 PSI, if that. Some of them were a lot less. So we started looking at gas power washers, and finally came up with this one. Now we were kind of limited. We didn't want to order anything online and have it shipped. We could have done that, but then you're paying shipping fees and everything else. So I thought, well, I'm just going to go see what they have at Home Depot, and they had this Ryobi here. It was very highly recommended. It's got 5-star ratings. The reviews were really good on it, and it's actually big enough to do the job we need and then some. It's kind of a neat unit. The Honda engine, of course, is top of the line. I don't think you get a better motor on one of these than a Honda. It has a soap dispenser down here that you can put You have to use pressure washer detergent only in these things, but you can put your soap in here. It's got, I think, 35 foot of hose here. So that's kind of neat, because that'll stretch from one end of the garage all the way to the other easily. And then I can run my hose from the house up there to feed this thing, and it should be plenty efficient. The other neat thing about this, it's got this adjustable tip here. So you got a wide 40-degree spray, and you can click it to a 25-degree spray. You can click it to 0, which is just a jet stream. Now that'll bore a hole in the concrete. And it has like a fan soap and a jet soap. So you can put your soap in there, you could soap the floor or whatever. I think I'm just going to use 40-degree on this. And this is a detachable head. It's just got a little spring-loaded quick connect there. So you can change the head on it if you want. Comes with different attachments. You can get, like a gutter cleaning attachment and stuff with it, but this will be plenty sufficient for what need I have. So I'm going to get busy today, and I'm going to power wash this garage floor and peel all this loose scree off of here and try to get it to where I'll be able to put a sealer on here. Now, they told me there really wasn't a whole lot you could do with this, but there is a thin set patch that you could put over this. But he said it wouldn't match the color and texture of your current garage floor. So I don't think it's even worth doing, and it's such a thin layer there to go ahead and try to patch all that. It would definitely look like a patch job. And then I got all these thin areas. Everywhere there was a saw cut, and the salt kind of followed through, it left this spalling. So hopefully we can put an end to that. Now, here's the stuff that I got. I went to a place in Akron, Ohio, in South Akron on Schwartz Road, and it's called Coolman, and it's a contractor supply for concrete masonry products. This is a Consolidec LS, and it is a concrete flooring product, premium concrete sealer, hardener, and densifier. So the guy told me to spray this on the floor, and then he told me to use, I bought this little micro fleece cloth thing, and he said use that just to kind of mop it around, spread it thin, because if it dries in puddles or too thick, it'll leave like a milky, more of a white area. So I'll use that mop to spread it out evenly and get a nice even layer across the garage floor, and hopefully it'll come out looking like new again. That sealer is not only supposed to penetrate and seal, but it should harden up anything to prevent any further spalling. So, and the key to all of this will be what it's going to do where it's already spalled off. It should seal what's there, but I just hope stuff can't continue to penetrate under the edges of that. Now, my friend Dave told me that this probably happened as a result of the initial pour. And timing is real critical when you do concrete work, and specifically troweling the surface. Now you can see this is a real nicely smooth trowel surface, but timing again is very important. So if they rushed the job and they tried to trowel it too fast, it brings more water up to the surface and can cause you this thin layer on top, which at first looks really nice, but you see what happens down the road. So I got my work cut out for me. I'm going to power wash it, let it dry out for a week or so, and then we'll put the sealer on it. Oh, I better move my baby out of the way there. I don't want it covered with grit from the garage floor. One other thing I'm going to add about using the power washer, very dangerous tool. The pressure that comes out of that thing, you know, up to 3,000 psi, can penetrate, and specifically through your skin. And if it does that, it actually can inject water right under your skin into your bloodstream, which is extremely serious. It's called embolism, and it can result in very, very serious consequences, if not death. So you want to be very careful. Safety glasses, you don't know what's going to fly back, take your eye, and a good heavy shoe. Don't be wearing tennis shoes or anything like that when you pressure wash. Not a good idea. Just keep the wand away from your body, away from your feet. Don't ever put your hand in front of the spray, and don't ever aim it at anybody else when you're spraying. It's kind of like a loaded weapon. As you'll see here, I've got some tire stains there that didn't come out. I did a burnout there a while back. Ooh, look at this. Where'd he come from? Nice one, buddy, but you're not going to live in here. You need to move on. Out the door. Out the door. Oh, he's a feisty little devil. There's some rust stains here that wouldn't come off. And if you hold the pressure sprayer on there too long, it actually starts to peel the surface off. So you don't want that either. So you got to be careful. So the next plan is let the floor dry. Probably let it go for a week or so. Make sure it's good and dry. And all the water out of here. And then I'll put that Consolidec LS on there. Seal it all up. We'll hope for the best. Now, you know, when I was pressure spraying these spall areas, it's just like a can of worms. It just keeps peeling more and more off. So I imagine I could have probably forced a little more off there with some more effort, but I just don't want to take it too far, because that's a lot of pressure. That water shoots a lot of pressure, and you know, I could just keep going and going with it. So I got all of the loose stuff off. Let's put it that way, and we'll leave it like that. So, all right, there you go. Now let me put all this hose and stuff away.